Hello, everybody. This is the GG-rated live show, Episode 1, and today we have on the show Sebastian and Hydra. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. Nice to meet
Yeah,
you all.
I am good. A bit disappointed, missing the trolls, but everything is fine. We will get them. We will.
Yeah, they'll come eventually, I'm sure of it.
Trolls flock to all good things.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you guys want to start talking about, huh? Anything from the things that we discussed and we have on the document, or you rather speak about something else? For example, Sebastian was mentioning that he spoke with Jinro today. Would be a nice point to start with, maybe.
Yeah, let's hear what Sebastian has to say about that first before we head into the show notes.
Yeah.
Well, I can only say this, that I really should not be speaking about what will be a Team Liquid weekly exclusive, but I guess I am anyway. So I can only say that Jinro is a true StarCraft 2 scholar and a gentleman, and it's a great pleasure to speak to him. He is very well mannered and respectful. For
Yeah.
example, people who may today, Monday, the 7th of February, you may have watched already the GSL March group selection ceremony where the Codes players got to choose their opponents or pick opponents based on a
Yep.
certain rule. And Jinro had the same right as Nesty to pick his opponents first. But Jinro, out of respect for Nesty's accomplishments, allowed him to go first and maybe thereby getting an advantage. And Jinro said that it just felt the right way to do it. So Jinro,
Yeah.
a true gentleman of StarCraft.
Oh, that's mannered right there.
Well, but
Very.
that is awesome. Probably related with the fact that, well, they're just staying there in Korea for a while now, and I know that one of the things that marks the costumes and the societies there is the respect for other people and the discipline. So it might just be showing a sign of that towards people that are actually Koreans and are playing this game for a long time as well. Good for me, obviously, as you might imagine. I like that.
Yeah, I would agree.
Absolutely. I think it's inspiring compared to the attitudes of some other well-known players who are also entertainers, but
We're not going to mention any names. Idra.
well, why would we do that? Like someone wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. What else did you discuss with them?
Well, obviously, all the juicy details will most likely be broadcast and released on YouTube on Friday. But we did talk at length about all the players and groups of the GSL March, which you can find all over the interwebs somewhere. And it's, of course, 8 groups, and they just got finalized earlier today, and Jinro and I talked through what he thought the outcomes would be, players to look out for, and his general impressions. And then we moved on to talk about the new maps that has been released. If I'm not mistaken, there are 4 maps
Yeah.
called Crevasse, Crossfire, Terminus, and Taldarim Altar. And I mean, I haven't played them myself, I must admit. Jinro has, not too much for a pro gamer standard, so I'm sure that means less than 100 games. But he felt that against Protoss, they're very difficult, nigh impossible. But he's the respectful guy he is. He said that he had only played it to the degree that could not yet determine. He feel that there might be a slight Protoss imbalance, but at the same time, it's so much fun to just have new maps, because for a pro gamer, it's like a mini expansion. You've been
Yeah.
playing Metalopolis 10,000 times by now. You want something new, no matter if it's imbalanced.
Yeah.
So he gave
Yeah.
some pretty in-depth insights on the maps as well, which should be interesting for everyone to hear. Maps we
Yeah,
will see in GSL March.
We can actually go over those maps a little bit on
Yeah.
the show here. We have them
Yep.
all.
I would like.
let's do-
I would just like to add to what Sebastian was commenting now that I saw most of those maps being played on the stream from Gizado, the guy that is a member of OGS and is living on the. I think he's now living on the new house, that foreigner's house that GomTV organized, because I
Yes,
recall
yes.
seeing. Yeah, I recall seeing on a video from Artosis, he has a room there with a lot of PCs and monitors and all of that. Anyway, the guy has his own stream for a long, long time. He's fairly well recognized on the Korean community, and he has been testing the maps that GomTV has now on the team league, the GSL it started today, And I
Yeah.
saw some matches there with some of the high profile, the high ranked players. It was pretty impressive, and I really enjoy the maps. And I recall watching OGSMC playing there, and he was just loving it. I recall he was making some comments in Korean, and someone was translating on the stream and saying that he was really enjoying the new map. So apparently everything is heading the right way. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have images
Yeah.
available of the maps?
We can go over. I'm gonna put up Crevice
Yeah.
first. Should be up on the stream. But so far, the only experience that I've seen from these maps is I was watching some live streaming over the weekend. I don't remember which stream it was. Might have been some European King of the Hill Top 200, but they were testing out the new GSL maps in the stream.
Cool.
And what I noticed a lot is they're favoring, quite a few of these maps are favoring a fast and easy to defend first expansion. So, I mean, some of the maps I was watching, Daimaga was playing, and his macro, I mean, once he got the first expansion, and then he just started expanding like crazy, and the Zerg macro kicked in, and he looked almost unstoppable on some of these maps. So, I'm thinking maybe that it's going to be a lot more balanced, and a lot of people are going to see maybe more longer-term macro games and a little bit less cheese on some of these maps. What's your opinion?
Roger, would you like to kick off?
Well, for me, I'm all for bigger maps, first of all, to promote a bit more of macro. I do like the new maps. Some of them, at least, well, they seem to lead that way. And I don't have any issue with allowing people to have an easier access to the Natural Expo and establish their game. Try to promote longer games, more intense games. I'm not sure if you guys recall, but there was a thread on Team Liquid not long ago with some statistics comparing the game length on Brood War and now on Starcraft 2, and the games on Starcraft 2 are obviously shorter. So might be a way of promoting the games, longer games, more macro intensive, and you're going to end up having less cheese and players more focused on actually getting some proper builds and try to be aggressive on the right opportunity and not just right away on the first 3 minutes. So based on that, yeah, I do like the new maps. I think they are heading the right way. And I do think they do promote the macro gaming and a big econ style of playing that I enjoy. I mean, I always like to see the last tier of units, and sometimes I miss them. And we might be seeing more motherships. Who knows? I mean, would be cool. And more
I would
brood lords
definitely,
and all of that.
I would definitely like to see a lot later tier units and versus a lot of this early Marine 2 racks pressure that we've been seeing a lot of in GSL. So hopefully we can see a lot more macro style games and bring out some of the other players that we're not used to seeing.
Well, just picking up on something that was said regarding seeing motherships, Jinro does have an interesting comment on that topic regarding the new map Taldarim Altar, but I'll let him answer to that. But something I think which is a crucial point, which you alluded to, Roger, is that the maps we've seen from Blizzard so far, which is what we've been playing in the GSL and all the tournaments, as well as the ladder, is that they cater to all skill sets and thereby mostly the lower ones. The maps Blizzard made were purpose built to be suitable for various types of play, whereas tournament maps made by a professional organization to showcase entertaining top level matches on, they will have to be built differently so as to allow a high-level macro game. Because if you let two newbies play on a huge map with lots of expansions, they will never attack. It will be a 2-hour-long game until someone rage quits. But with pros at the handle, maps that are just too big or too complicated can become truly exciting battlefields. And GOM2V has until now just allowed Blizzard to set the standard. Now they're doing it themselves, which is why I think we'll see an entirely different tournament now, because the battlefields have fundamentally changed.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, I think Terminus is going to be a riot, but that's just subjectively my point of view.
Yeah, I checked that map. I really liked it. I really liked it. And from what I recall seeing on that stream from Gizado, on the Gizado King of the Hill, the event that he organizes almost on a daily basis, he had a lot of really exciting matches there. But like Sebastian was mentioning, I mean, most of the players there that were testing those maps for him, I mean, it was people from OGS and Xenex and IM and like the top teams on Korea. So they're used to play professionally. They know what to do, and you end up not having like a lost player roaming around the map trying to figure out what to do. So yeah. I do understand what Sebastian means, and that shows on that stream that I checked.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to the new maps. All
yes.
right. So shall we move on with the next topic at hand?
Yes,
go for it.
Let's talk about a little bit about the SteelSeries Challenge, the Winter Assembly in Finland.
Yes.
Go, Sebastian, go for it.
All right. Well, this is almost at my backyard, of course. I was hoping I would be able to go there to Helsinki, which is geographically not too far, but socio-economically, for my part, it's looking like I won't be able to make that happen this time, sadly. I was so glad I could go to DreamHack in the autumn of 2010, meet the Liquid Pro gamers and OGS Top and Inca, as well as many Swedish fans and players, etc. So being able to go to places like Assembly, that would just have been great. But enough talking about what I'm not going to do. Let's talk about what actually is going to happen. On the 11th to 13th of February, that's the coming weekend, in Helsinki, it's going to be not a money big, but definitely a celebrity big Starcraft 2 event like none other. The prize pool is about 5,000 euros, that is 6,000 US dollars and change. So that may not be as awesome as you would have liked, but the lineup is what makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We're going to have some big name players. Even when the prize pool is low, I'm really happy that we're seeing a lot of players show up and come out. And I really think that they're trying to push the whole esports with Starcraft 2. Even though the money is low, people are still showing up. Which is
I think people
really
just want a reason to show up so they could do their thing and expose themselves and their brand. It's like an investment much more than anything else.
Right.
And a party.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys checked the groups that are already established for the assembly. I don't know, some of the players, I can look at some groups here. Some groups look really accessible for some of the references that we have on this game, but well, you never know how things will go, obviously. But I was checking the groups, and there's some really easy groups, I would say, and at least a couple of groups that I find kind of hard, like they just merge too many high-profile players on that group, and well, things might end up going really wrong for someone that would have potential to head to another phase of the tournament and try to get his luck, see how far he would go, and might get just eliminated on that group. But just an idea. For example, Group A is TLO, and then it's Roxkiz, Lifezerg, Menace, Fuser or Fuser, and Mayhemia, a Finnish player. I never heard of him. Lifezerg and Fuser, I actually recall the names, but I mean, they're not on the same level as TLO.
TLO, yeah.
Yeah.
TLO expressed that he was very confident about his group when I interviewed him last week. I think he's right about that.
Yeah. Well, here's another example. Now, a group that I think it's going to be a bit more balanced, though. Those two players, it's Group E, where you have Liquid Huck, and then you have Abver from Roxkiz and Saze from MYM. Same team as Artosis. These three, they will probably be able to fight against each other on a similar level. I do know that Huck is a bit ahead of these guys, but still sounds a balanced group. There's also a fourth player, a Finnish, Kiliardi. I'd never heard of him.
Yeah, I've never heard of Kiliardi, so...
So
but
I guess he's going...
Lots of Finnish players showing up in these groups.
Yeah. And then we're gonna have the awesome group that everyone will want to check, which will be Group G.
Why? Thank you. I was hoping to get to this. Action Jesus. Everybody's gonna want to see this.
The six pool man is there.
Full action.
Yeah, he's gonna six pull everyone until he just drops dead. His group has Soke, has Pomi from Roxkiz, and another Finnish player, Tuomio. I don't recognize him, but I mean, people will want to check this group just for a laugh, as you might
just
imagine.
for the lulz.
Yeah, he's made quite a name for himself, considering the foundations of it. I met him briefly at DreamHack, and he seemed like a happy guy.
Yeah, I watched an interview of somebody who had interviewed him at DreamHack, and he made the statement that's he said that if he knows he's playing someone that's better than him and he knows he can't out macro him, he's gonna six pool. So I mean, the guy's being honest. So I mean, whatever. We can't hate him for his play. It's exciting.
Yeah. I mean, no one can blame him or say that he's doing bad. I mean, he even admits it. He just said, no, the guy's better than me. I'm not going to stand here. I'm just going to six pull him until I drop dead. Maybe I get lucky and win. Who knows? So, yeah. And,
it's going to be entertaining.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
It will. And then there's a group that I found really interesting, which is Group P, where you have Liquid Tyler, Noni, you have Sarens from AAA, and you have Grubby.
Ooh.
D Grubby.
Grubby.
Yeah, D Grubby from Warcraft 3.
Warcraft 3.
Yeah. Those three guys will be on the same group, and this group will be interesting to take a look at.
Yes, and if I may interject, obviously, when I talked to TLO in the interview, maybe some viewers have listened to it. Otherwise, I recommend it, obviously. But we spent some time talking about this group in particular because obviously Liquid Tyler is a fearsome Protoss.
Yep.
One of the, if not the best in North America, and that's just because he can't be bothered to go to Korea and show them how it's done. And Sarens, definitely a skilled player, though I would put him below Tyler. And then we have Grubby, which has admitted that he is a hybrid player, Warcraft 3 still, whilst learning Starcraft 2. And he's very humble by the fact that he's not dedicated himself to Starcraft 2 yet, but this will be his first tournament appearance. Yeah. So obviously he feels like he could have put up something of a fight. Now, TLO is convinced that Tyler will ruffle stomp his way through and that Grubby won't be able to do anything else other than bleed and die. That was actually not his words, but that was his meaning.
Thanks for the translation.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to make TLO sound worse than he actually did. But the point, of course, being that Grubby is a big name in esports. I personally, when I played Warcraft, I was Orc, and Grubby is, of course, a legend in his own right. I'd like to see him move on. Problem is, I don't think he will. Any objections?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
First.
Okay, so for me, there's just a name that I have in my mind. Do you guys remember the last superstar, so to speak, from Warcraft 3 that came for Starcraft? Had a huge impact on the first couple of matches in which he showed up, and then he disappeared. He was completely gone. Do you guys recall the name Mad Frog?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Mad Frog, when he showed up, I remember him having plenty of matches against some of the top references, especially in Europe, and he actually did pretty well. And people were thinking, oh, this guy is so sick, he's huge playing this. All his micro from Warcraft 3 is here, and the guy is going to be a monster. And now he's gone. I'm not sure if it's going to happen the same thing to Grubby or not, but Grubby already admitted that he's kind of he has mixed feelings. Like he's a hybrid player, like Sebastian was mentioning. He's going to keep playing both games, and that might be a sign that he won't have enough time to focus only on StarCraft 2. Just take it that seriously to be like on top of his game, at least for now. So I am fearing that we might be having here a Mad Frog Jr. What you guys think?
I'm hoping not, because...
Well, yeah, I'm hoping not, but it's just a feeling that I have. I mean...
So far from what it seems, that Grubby doesn't want to give up his hold on Warcraft 3 just yet.
Mm-hmm.
And until he gives full dedication and full time and, intense practice to StarCraft 2, I don't think we're going to see his full potential yet. So I'm inclined to go with you on that feeling. What do you think, Sebastian?
Well, I think somewhat differently because Mad Frog, who's a Swedish player, played Undead in Warcraft 3, and now I may be wrong, but I think I am right. Mad Frog was... his Warcraft 3 career ended after having been accused of hacking, and he then took a hiatus from the game. And during the StarCraft 2 beta, he practiced in secret. That's how I've understood it. And obviously, he is a talented strategist. He's been to Korea in the early days of
Yeah.
Warcraft 3. And he prepared himself in silence and acquired a sort of sponsorship from SK Gaming, I believe, and was featured against TLO in the show match at IEM Cologne, Intel Extreme Masters in Cologne. And he
Yeah.
made a quite nice showing as Zerg. And then I heard a couple of months ago that MadFrog wanted his sponsor, SK Gaming, to finance him going to Korea to play with the best. They refused to do so basically because they thought MadFrog wasn't a good enough investment. Not good enough, hadn't won enough. And since then, I haven't heard much from MadFrog. Grubby is an entirely different matter. He is a truly professional pro gamer, made more money than almost everybody, and he has too much to lose. MadFrog has been out in the Siberia of pro gaming for years and then made one triumphant short return. Grubby is seriously on top of Warcraft 3, and he could transition into Starcraft 2. He has too much to lose to just give it a go and then quit. He will persevere.
Good point. That's a good point.
Well, we already have some Warcraft 3 players that transition into Starcraft 2. Some of them even playing on the GSL, and they've been doing fairly well. I mean, none of them is like the biggest reference ever or actually took the final victory on that GSL, but they did their fair bit, and actually getting qualified for the round of 64 of the GSL is an achievement by itself. So I think the transition is obviously possible and doable, and hopefully Sebastian is right and Grubby will be able to do that just fine. But I'm not sure. Maybe we can take a look at what's going to happen now on the assembly, see how he deals with that group, because he's on a fairly powerful group in my modest opinion. And see how he deals with the rest of his opponents on that group. Let me just check. He's going to play as Protoss there as well. Okay, so a group has how many Protosses? 2 Protosses is there. Oh,
Yeah.
the fourth Finnish guy, Virus Magic.
Magic.
He plays Terran Protoss. I mean, doesn't have like a fixed race apparently from what I can see here. Still, there's plenty of Protoss there, and you guys know what happens on PvP, right?
Anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of random, and then everyone decides to go 4-gate, or everyone decides not to go 4-gate, and the game just gets all messed up. Or you have, like I already seen on some Korean replays, a Zealot running after another Zealot for 20 minutes. Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but still it's a very interesting group, and I want to take a look at this one. I don't want to miss this one.
Definitely.
Totally.
One thing of note to mention, we're not going to be seeing any play from the Muslim. He's listed in Group O.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
He had a skirmish and hurt his hand, as they put it.
Yeah, skirmish, in quotes.
Now, a question is, someone will supposedly take his spot on that group? How is it going to work? The group has 4 people. I'm assuming that the organization will probably assign that spot for someone else. I mean, can't be that hard as you might imagine. They can even get another Finnish player to just fill in the spot. Obviously, it's a big loss. The Muslim is quite a powerful Terran, but he's being injured. I mean, we can't perform any miracles. And from what I read lately, he said that he will be skipping the assembly, try to keep his hand safe and just recover, because he wants to be prepared for the following events on the Intel Extreme Masters and so on. So not sure exactly who's going to take his spot. Hopefully would be someone that could be well known of the community, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah. I have no information. It's possible that there's just one less guy, or they put in some Finnish gold player and let him be the victim of the pros.
Yeah. There's also another thing I would like to mention, and obviously you guys are going to comment on it, is that there's some invited players from Korea. NSP Genius, OGSMC, and we're talking about 2 powerhouses playing Protoss, as you guys know. They're huge. So those 2 guys, in your opinion, what you think they're going to do here? I mean, or at least take a look at the groups and tell me who are the guys here that might be able to stand a chance against them. What do you think?
Jonathan?
You can go first, Sebastian.
All right. Well, first of all, I'd just like to say that I don't care for the bitching about the injustice that is that some people get invited and others have to qualify. This is about entertainment. It is it's about sportsmanship as well, but what we want to see is epicness being performed by the very best. And if a Finnish organization can convince Korean pros, arguably the best. I mean, OGSMC won GSL Season 3, didn't he? If they can convince him and a BlizzCon winner, NSP Genius, to come over and do their thing, that is just ace. In terms of who's the better Protoss, I would have to say MC, but if they were playing PvP, who knows? He would be the stronger one, but NSP Genius is far superior to like 80% of the players here, at least in a straight-up free versus free situation. TLO might have a shot against NSP Genius, less of a shot against MC. Tyler, have to be PvP, man, and he might be able to put up a fight. That's all I can say.
I want to see OGSMC versus Action Jesus. That's all I want to see.
I want to see that too. Now that is entertainment.
Yeah. Entertainment
keep in mind,
highest.
I was just taking a look here at the list. Keep in mind that they still have two to be announced, apparently on the 12th of February. Who are going to be the Zergs and Terrans from Korea or Asia that are going to be invited. So there will be more additions in the future and probably more powerful players. Now, let me just mention this, and then I'll obviously pass for you guys so you guys can say your opinion. But I think there's at least some players here from Europe that will be able to stand their ground against the Koreans. I mean, Liquid Huck, Ret. I would love to see the American QXC facing the Koreans, to be honest.
I think he's a bit out of practice, though, because he's spending a lot of time doing schoolwork, I've heard.
I really want to see Ret.
And then there's another guy that already announced and mentioned several times that he wants to go to the GSL, he wants to try his luck, who is Show, member of Dignitas, and he is quite a strong Terran player. I would like to see him facing the Koreans. I would like to see Bratok or Bratok facing the Koreans. So there is several guys here that I would like to see them facing. Or Naniwa, just to see if he can withstand the pressure or if he's going to start trashing people down like he did in the past. Hopefully now he's feeling better and doing better on that subject. But there's several players here that I would like to see them confronting the Koreans, and that I think that they stand a chance, that they're not going to be like completely ran over, trampled by them. What you guys think?
Well, I guess I'll go first, but I really want to see how Liquid Red holds up. I know he's been over in Korea practicing, working over there. I know he pretty commonly practices with Idra. That's correct.
Yes.
And I don't know if you guys been recently following, but Idra and Artosis came out with that show, The Imbalanced.
Absolutely.
I watched that.
Where it's a lot of complaining about the imbalance issues in StarCraft and stuff. I'm not going to get into that because, of course, the game's not perfect now, but I wish they had handled it a different way. Perhaps posted up some more solutions to the imbalance. But anyhow, seeing as how Liquid Red plays Zerg, I really want to see how he posts up against the other Koreans. So if we can get an answer to this, Imba that's hanging over the air of everybody's attitude towards the Zerg play. So I'm very interested to see how Ret's going to handle the situation.
Yeah, I mean, talking about Ret, I mean, you mentioned so many names, Roger, and we could talk through it all, but it would take all night. But to focus on the very interesting thing that is Ret, who is in Holland already with Liquid Huck, by the way, I can reveal, because they travel, I think, to Ret's place, at least his town, to hang out before assembly, because jet lag is a crucial factor. And NSP Genius and MC will most probably have that against them, the fact that they've been traveling from the other side of the world. Whereas Huck and Ret will not have that issue, even though they're from Korea, technically. But Red, we haven't seen him since the middle of the last GSL season, and I think he plays such an interesting way of Zerg. It's very economical to the point of greedy. He always wants to
Always
get
wants
more
to
drones
expand.
in,
More and more and
and
more.
yes, and that is so cool. I would say it's even sexy, but it's also very, very dangerous. That's the way I do it, except that I suck something awful at it. But it is still such a vibrant way of playing Zerg. It's truly
Yeah,
the heart of the swarm,
yeah.
and I think against Koreans in a GSL situation, that may be difficult. It's easier to cheese or to do some sort of two-base thing. But against Europeans, but with a Korean training like Red has, he will be able to do so well with that style. And if he faces
Hmm.
Koreans, well, then he won't be jet lagged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I do enjoy watching Red play because well he just goes for huge macro plays. Sometimes it's like you give him a break like 1 minute and he just freaks out over expansions and starts grabbing like the third and the fourth, and when you noticed, yeah, when you noticed he has like 4 base play or 5 base play, and the guy
It's too late
his
by then.
opponent, yeah, his opponent is still taking care of his expo and considering picking up the third. And then when he notices it's too late, and he just gets a million Zerglings and a million Banelings running around them, and well, it's over. I casted a game with Red not long ago, and that happens. I mean, at 11 minutes or something like that in the game, he already was playing on 4 bases, and I was just looking at the game and thinking, Jesus, that guy is completely mad. But
He
I
is
mean, but
insane.
yeah, but keep in mind that there is a logic to his madness. I mean, he knows that he was aggressive enough to intimidate the other guy, or he went to check him, he went to scout him, and knew that he's just building stuff, he's just preparing his strategy for a later game, and he just goes for it. I mean, he just on his mind will be something running like, okay, he's just preparing his base. I'm not going to worry about anything. I'm just going to macro like mad. And when he actually comes at me with all these siege tanks or colossi or whatever, I'm going to have like a million units and just throw them all. And
Yeah.
actually works pretty well for Zerg because it's one of the basic principles of Zerg. Just you have cheap units, they're fairly weak, but they win on the numbers. If you can make enough of them and throw them at your opponent, well, eventually you will break. And Rat represents that, so I really enjoy watching him play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the heart of the swarm.
Exactly. So yeah, definitely looking out for Ret. Hopefully, you're gonna see some interesting play coming from him.
Yeah, will be cool. Okay, what else? Where are we going next? Come on.
Do you guys want to cover the the TeamSpeak TL Starcraft 2 Open number 12?
You guys watch
Yes,
any of
let's.
that?
Um,
I watch plenty of motherships there.
yeah, that was the stream with all the motherships that we were watching the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and plenty of toilet attempts, Baneling toilet and the Archon toilet and whatever toilet. Now everyone wants to make a toilet with the mothership, and sometimes it doesn't go that well, and things ended up a bit bad. I recall on one of the matches. The guy, I'm not sure who was the Protoss player, he tried to make that toilet with the Archons, but his opponent, the Zerg player, had the Broodlords, and he just released a lot of Broodlings, and the Broodlings were stopping the Archons
Yeah,
from
you couldn't
actually
get in
getting
there.
into the Vortex. So yeah, just failed toilet there. I guess he just didn't hit the toilet on that situation.
Was that Kiwi Kaki?
I'm not sure if it was Kiwi Kaki or if it was someone else. I recall that there was it Nama or Mana, Mouse Mana? I'm
It
not
might
sure.
have
I
been.
need to check
There
that.
was one Protoss that was playing on a lot of streams that one day. So
Yeah,
I'm not
Kiwikaki was
sure.
all over the place on that day.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Kiwi Kaki, but I might be wrong.
Maybe we should explain to some viewers what a toilet is in this context, because it's not an obvious expression.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
Go.
All right, I was trying to hide the fact that I have no idea what you're talking about and hoping one of you guys
I'll
would
explain.
say.
Right?
Oh wow, here comes the trolls.
on, on a very simple way of putting it, you know that vortex that the mothership does, the ability that just sucks all the units in?
Yes,
You
of
know that one,
course.
Sebastian? Okay, so the simple concept is you gather enough units, for example, the Archons, because they have that their attack does a lot of damage and spreads, hits units on the sides, you know. So the idea is you gather all the units from your opponent, or as many as possible on the vortex, and allow the Archons to get sucked with those units as well. When everything gets back from the vortex, the units will be surrounded by the Archons, and because they have that attack that spreads the damage all over that area of
splash
effect, that
damage.
AoE area, the splash damage, it will hit everything and just melt away all the units of your opponent. And that's what they call the toilet, I guess.
That is a very succinct and nice explanation, and I feel very enlightened. Unleash hell, trolls. Nevertheless, thank you so much for bringing that to us. But it looks like perhaps not sexy thing, but definitely a crowd pleasing thing to do. Do you
Maybe you
think?
need to call another name. Maybe we need to use another name for it or create another name. I don't know.
Well, if we come up with something, maybe we could spread the word. But obviously, it's now quite clear that I didn't watch those games and that I haven't seen this move before. Is this a new metagame development, or merely it's a kind of a cheesy thing that less good players do? Or because motherships, we don't see them a lot.
Recently, I've been seeing a lot of Mothership play. I mean, it seems just over the past week, I can't stop seeing Mothership play. I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has been showing up like, I don't know, last 3 weeks maybe. Yeah. And basically I recall Kiwikaki doing it, and everyone was going about, oh my god, epic battle with Kiwikaki, and they did this thing.
Was that the one versus TLO, or?
I'm not sure. I recall watching it on a stream that was streamed by Total Biscuit. I don't even recall what was the event, but it was something like 3 weeks ago. And since then, as you guys know, Kiwikaki has been abusing the mothership. He even forces, sometimes he goes and tries to force to build the mothership because he wants the mothership to show up in the game. And occasionally you end up with situations where he can just get that toilet thing going on, and it's awesome to watch, as you might imagine. I mean, you see a swirl sucking all the units in, and then when they all come out, you just see all of them getting completely bashed, splashed, destroyed, melted away. Especially against the Zerg, as you might imagine, it's just a huge pool of blood and pieces of shell coming out, and yeah, it is messy.
It's quite a spectacle.
Yeah, kind of gruesome, but in a good way, in a positive way, especially for StarCraft 2 fans, obviously.
Yeah.
And from what I recall, seeing that was like, I would say 3 weeks ago, and it was Kiwikaki. But since then, more people have attempted it, and Kiwikaki have attempted it more often as well, more times as well.
Well, speaking of Mothership and epic play, and since we touched on Grubby a little earlier, this weekend, this is going to be a shameless plug for Zotac Cup, but I was watching that, and there was one match with Nama versus Grubby, and we saw Nuke play as well as Mothership play.
Oh, yeah. You told me that.
I don't know if either of you guys had a chance to see the VOD for that, but
no, I did not myself.
It was insane. Grubby had a huge Stalker army and Mothership come out, and he was dealing great damage to Nama, and then Nama came in with a nuke, and he dropped it right on top of the Mothership, killed the Mothership, killed all the Stalkers, and I mean, it was GG from there. It was destruction. Epic.
That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, well, it isn't, but yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, so that was probably one of the most epic things I saw all weekend.
Okay, so what's next? You guys seen today's the matches on the Team League on GSL, the GSTL, I think that's the name now.
I'm actually saving that for my bedtime, but let's spoil it anyway and talk about it.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen all the matches yet, but let's go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, Iceman, you have a picture there with the brackets from today and all of that, right?
Yeah, let me post that up.
Well, basically you had, I think it was 2 matches today. It was Team Prime against TSL, against Team SCV Live, and you had StarTale facing Team FOU. So fairly strong teams from the Korean scene, as you guys know. Plenty of awesome players there. And basically what happened was a mixed, kind of bittersweet, you know what I mean? Because there was so many superstars there that you wanted to see play. And, well, the strangers, the ones that you actually don't recognize that well, just completely dominated the day today. Let me just take a look here, see if I can find it again. Basically, what happened was, on the first match, the first face-off was StarTale against Team FOU. And, I mean, on StarTale, you have players like Julizerg and Rainbow and others like that. And what happened was, the first player that got into the booth to represent Startail was Startail Squirtle, and the name was like what we're talking about. It was Gagaboogie
GGO
or
Boogie. GGO
yeah,
Boogie.
something like. Okay, that guy did an all kill, 4-0, done. He defeated Gumiho for you, SC for you, the best for you, and Nuclear for you. 4-0. Startail, no one else played. The guy just owned everyone, and it's over. So a bit of a frustration. That's why I mentioned that it's kind of bittersweet, you know. So I would like to see, for example, Julizerg playing or Rainbow, and hopefully we're going to see them in the future. But today, well, it was only Squirtle all the way. So lots of Pokemon for everyone. Have fun. And then on the second matchup, it was Team SEV Live TSL versus Prime, two huge teams, as you guys know. And basically, what happened was that Tester got into the booth and he faced Hongun Prime on a PvP and defeated Hongun Prime. And then another player from Prime came in, was Polt Prime, and defeated Tester. Then from Team SEV Live, from TSL, a player that was on Team For You called Alive, TSL Alive, before was known as Alive For You, just got into the booth. He's a Terran player, and he defeated Paul Prime, Czech Prime, Marine King Prime. Done. TSL won.
Ouch.
And you ended up having the heroes of the day, ST Squirtle, TSL Alive. Okay. I mean,
these are the who are these people again? You know. Like...
No, but I mean, I'm hoping to see more of them on the GSL or Code A, or hopefully on Code S in the future, because from what they showed today, they were really strong, really solid today. They might have just having a nice day, or their opponents might not have been caring much about this team event, you know, just relaxing a bit and getting ready for the next GSL and actually trying some new strategies. But they did very good today. It was pretty solid. And I recall seeing Squirtle and Alive For You in the past on the GSL, so probably want to hear more from them in the future. So yeah, as you guys can see on that screen on the stream, you have the brackets there, and obviously Startail and TSL already advanced to the round of 4. But we're going to have a lot more matchups that hopefully are going to be huge. For me, the one that I really want to see, as you might imagine, is OGS Team Liquid facing Incredible Miracle. I am.
I think most people are looking forward to that matchup.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing that I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not is, as you guys know, OGS might be a bit reluctant on using people from Team Liquid. I can picture them using Jinro.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Sebastian, you just mentioned that Rat is back in Holland again, right?
Yes, I can confirm that Team Liquid is not going to be represented in the Team League because they don't have enough members present in Korea. Whether they could ever borrow someone in, I don't think so. Legal stuff, rules kind of thing.
I could picture in my mind something like the OGS manager saying, okay, Jinro is strong enough and he would be a good addition. Just let's get him in. But I mean, you might be right. Things don't work that way.
I think he wouldn't mind having Jinro on his team. Jinro is superior to several OGS members, and that's been proven several times over. But I don't think that's the final matter in this context.
Yeah.
So we won't see Liquid in the Team League this time.
What about is Idra going to be playing for any of the teams? I don't know if he's showcasing.
No, same thing there.
Same thing.
You have to have team present.
That's
okay. So you guys tell me one thing. What's your opinion, taking a look at those brackets that are now available on the stream? Which team are you guys considering to be the most powerful one, or at least the one that you guys think that it will take the final victory on this first tournament event?
Incredible Miracle has a lot of good things going for them. Like 2 winners of the GSL.
GSL.
Yeah. They have MVP, which is a huge Terran, and they have Nasty Zerbong.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy is huge as well. And those two will probably dominate this, but I don't know. TSL is fairly strong. and I like OGS as well, to be honest. The other ones, FOU, well, they just got eliminated. They have a lot of members, but they're not that strong, or at least not that consistent. And Prime suffers from the same problem, in my opinion. Have plenty of members, but not that many, like on the top bracket, on the top of the food chain on StarCraft 2. So might not be going that way. Another question I have is, and I'm not sure if you guys can help me on that, is Team Xenex. Will Genius, he was from Xenex, but now he's NSP Genius. Will he be even showing up, or not really? I don't think I don't think he's directly connected to Xenex, but he might show up. I think he still has a connection to them. Just not a direct one. He just went to create that own team of himself, that NSP team. But I think that's kind of a smaller organization inside Xenex. So it would be nice to see Genius there. I don't know.
I can't add any actual knowledge about that matter, but isn't Genius going to be at Assembly this weekend?
You're right. I didn't even remember that. You're right. Yeah, so probably you won't be doing any playing on this
He's going for international glory this weekend, at least.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good option. And Team Xenex has plenty of players anyway. So I have to agree with Sebastian. IAM is a good option. Though I do have a couple more teams that I might consider, but IAM has some really strong members there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just with the past experience, what we've seen in GSL so far, I don't see anybody else but IAM taking it. I mean, the previous Code S finals, MVP just looked unstoppable. I mean, everything he did was just perfectly executed. Everything countered Marine King Prime. I mean, I still remember I think it was match 2 on Metalopolis where Marine King Prime tried to take that sneaky expansion, and MVP still scouted it. I mean, that's just
that's just star sense.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. I don't know how you can beat that.
Yeah, but
you can't.
You guys keep in mind that MVP is one of the few Brood War professional players that when he transitioned to StarCraft 2, he was still on top of his game on Brood War. He had professional contract, was on top of the leagues there. He was one of the pros that people recognized on Brood War. And for some was kind of a shock to actually see him transitioning from Brood War into StarCraft 2, being him such a powerhouse on Brood War. You know that most players that we see transitioning from Brood War are old veterans. I mean, people that are considered old based on their age to play Brood War, or there are like old glories or people that weren't actually that good on Brood War. They were like members of B teams and playing 2v2s, and they actually just got some success on StarCraft 2, but they weren't that good. So seeing someone that actually was really good at Brood War and currently really good, like the guy was on top of his game now and he's still transitioned, might be a sign of how skilled he is, how powerful he is playing, Brood War and this situation, StarCraft 2 as well. Good point. It shows. I mean, he dominated Marine King Prime on the finals of the GSL, as you guys seen, just dominated him completely.
Yeah. It's quite obvious that he is the shit. And that's just that, you know? So just having him in there will put IAM ways ahead. But then again, as you said, Roger, we don't know who's playing. For StarTale, we didn't see any July Surgeon. Of the others, we saw Squirtle. Will MVP play, or will he be preparing for other stuff? Or
it is a good question.
The way things went already, we don't know, so it's going to be hard to tell. But
anything can happen, and this reminds me of the old Pro League days of Brood War, where there, of course, were free tournaments, the OSL and the MSL individual high prestige leagues, and then there were the team league that required you to win and compete as a team. You had to go, there were different formats, but you had to claim a certain number of wins, perhaps 4 out of 7 or something as a total, and you could do all kills and etc. like this Team League, except, of course, in the Brood War days. And that was an epic event, and you could see legends being born there. You could see people make
Yeah.
names for themselves. And if there were new players on a team, they would first be shown in the Pro League, where it was less important, but they could show their worth, And
Yeah,
that's
true.
what this Team League is about.
Yeah. Well, I like the Team League, and I'm hoping for it to have a long future. They can do it on these breaks from the GSL, so pretty awesome for me. It's just fine. Just waiting to see more. It will continue tomorrow. Let me see if I can see which teams are going to play tomorrow. If I can actually check that on the bracket. I think they have it on GOM TV. Just take a look.
Yeah, if you give me a link, I can post it up in the show.
Yeah, let me just see if I can find it. Where is the schedule? Schedule. Okay, I'm going to send you a link there.
All right.
Take a look at that. Okay, so tomorrow you're going to have OGS versus Incredible Miracle, and the Xenex versus Slayers as well. February the 8th. Yeah. It's at 6 p.m. Korean time, which is equivalent to GMT plus 9 hours. So it is a lot.
Yes.
But I'm looking forward to check this old generation versus IM. This matches should be awesome.
Yeah.
At least I'm hoping for it to be awesome.
Yeah, hopefully we don't get a 4-kill like what we just experienced.
Yeah, and the 4-kill coming from Squirtle from
Yeah.
Pokemon is a bit awkward, but okay.
I want to see some big names clashing here and down to the wire match.
Yeah, would be cool.
Well, the best thing is when you get a reverse all kill. First, one team takes 3 wins, and then the other team comes back. One player sits in the chair, takes down 4 opponents, doing the reverse all kill, saving the day, being a baller. That's what we want to see.
That's pretty epic.
Yeah, that is cool. Okay, well, I guess we just covered all our subjects for today. We even stretch our time, as you guys can see. We started talking, and well, we went way over what we had thought that it would take for this first trial. Well, it's a good sign. I mean, at least we have stuff to talk about. And let's just get ready for the second one next week, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure streaming with you guys.
It has been a pleasure. Any shout-outs you guys? Have any plugs you guys want to put in?
Yeah,
Sebastian,
I have a shout out for the trolls. I need them here, trolling all of us. Yeah, that's the only thing I want here. And Sebastian, go for it.
You go for it, Sebastian.
Well, the trolls are abundant. They will come to everything that is good, so I don't feel a need to wanting them to come here any sooner. But I do have a channel where I broadcast 3 times a week about Starcraft. There's interviews, and yes, as we've already revealed, Jinro will be on the show later this week. It's at youtube.com/Polygon Review, REVUE. I have a show called GG Vision. Check it out. So that's me. Thank you.
Sebastian, type it on the chat.
Ah, yes, we have technology.
Also, do you have a Twitter account people can follow you at, Sebastian?
It's Polygon Review everywhere.
Hey, you're just going to add it there on the chat. And you actually have some really interesting interviews. I've been following them for a while now. So, and I do like to see like the backstage, what happens behind the curtain on StarCraft 2. So it's nice to see some interviews with the players. It's pretty cool.
Hopefully we get some people on the show.
Oh my God. Link removed. The admin needs to allow links in here.
Anyhow, next stream we will have that thing sorted out, and we could put up some banners and graphics in the actual stream as well.
Yeah. Links are allowed now, by the way, so if you want to post those up again, you can.
Try it again. See if it works this time.
Right.
By the way, Sebastian, I already added you on my recommended StarCraft 2 channel, so hopefully you're going to have some guys from my channel checking you out. Would be
Thank
nice.
You. I'll do likewise to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Hydra, you want to go ahead and plug your channel and your Twitter?
It's fine. I'll spam it later on. It's all good. Let's wrap it up for today. We did a pretty good show, to be honest.
Yep.
Was really fluid and just working fine. I'm really happy with it. And with time, I'm pretty sure it will improve and get even better.
Yeah. Thanks
Cheers,
to our
everyone.
viewers, to the few people who did show up. We had some friends for this semi-public, semi-private broadcast, but thanks to those guys who showed up. And you can follow us on Twitter, Twitter GGRated. And we also have a website, GGRated.net, which we're going to have a lot more coming, so stay tuned for that. And we will see you guys next week. Hopefully same time, same day. So, GG.
Yeah. See you guys.
GG
Have fun.
indeed.